Take a look at the person next to you. Say, recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. And feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love.
Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. Thank you to our inspiring band this morning and the rockin' guitar. I am Tamira Hume, a practitioner here at our center, and I'm really glad to be with you today. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. Please know that your children are welcome here. We've recently brought back our youth program, and it's been an amazing success. We have childcare for your infants and toddlers, and we have fun, spirit-centered programming for your elementary and middle school children. We're also working very hard right now to get info about the teens in our community so we can build a teen group. If you know teens who are looking for a safe place to be themselves and make new friends, while also learning about ways to connect to spirit, please send them our way. Please know, too, that your children and grandchildren can sit in the sanctuary with you, or in the family room, or even at the fun coloring table out in the social hall. And parents, if you are wanting to get plugged into our youth program, please share your information with our youth coordinator, Jennifer Caldwell. After service, she'll be at the information table, or you can send an email to youth@cslsr.org. And thank you to our live stream viewers. We are very, very grateful that you are sharing this time with us online. And Facebook and YouTube live streamers, if you love us, click the share button. It's the shiny share button at the bottom of the screen. That way you can share our beautiful teaching with the world. If you would like more information about what is happening at the center, please visit our website, cslsr.org. There you'll find our monthly info pages by clicking the photo of the typewriter. It contains everything happening throughout the month. And if you are new and wondering, what is it we're all about? Pick up the What We Believe pamphlet at the information table directly outside the sanctuary. It's a very clear and concise bit of information about what we do believe. At the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa, we are motivated by a vision of a healthy, loving world. It is known as the global vision. It calls us to imagine a world that works for everyone. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. We follow this vision through the 4 primary values of our center. Would you please read them with me? Spiritual living, integrity, love, compassion. Speaking of love, our center uses flowers to send messages of love to one another. I should have done this earlier. And you'll see, while I'm getting this page open here, these beautiful flowers in front of me. They are from CSL Santa Rosa Stewardship Committee, and they are for Alicia Carroll and Sue Sandholm. They run our magnificent bookstore, and they do it so well. And this is the message they wrote to them. You are a symbol of our gratitude, love, and support for the tireless work you do to make Stepping Stones Bookstore a welcoming and valued place for all who come to our center. Your gentle and kind ways shine throughout all that you do, blessing our community beyond measure. Thank you. Yeah. Finally, I want to make a quick mention of our upcoming annual member meeting. In this meeting, our members vote on our 3 new trustees, Karen Hatton, Greg Summers, and Adrienne Bowes. You can see them on the slide right now. It's very important that if you're a member, that you sign up to attend as soon as possible, since we do need a certain number of folks present on Zoom in order to do business. We're thrilled to be voting on these 3 new trustees, who you have probably already seen around the center doing great stuff. I know that somewhere between the music, meditation, prayer practices, and Reverend Ruth's message today is exactly what you need to experience the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. You are welcome here. Now, please enjoy some music before our short time of silent contemplation and then prayer.
I listen to the part of me that knows my path is laid before me, showing me which way to go. I needn't wonder if I'll be guided home. Every choice along the road, God will always show. When I listen to the part of me that knows. Won't you join me? I listen to the part of me that knows. My path is laid before me, showing me which way to go. I needn't wonder if I'll be guided home. Every choice along the road, God will always show. When I listen to the part of me that knows. I listen to the part of me that knows. My path is laid before me, showing me which way to go. I needn't wonder if I'll be guided home. Every choice along the road, God will always show when I listen to the part of me that knows. I needn't wonder if I'll be guided home. Every choice along the road, God will always show when I listen to the part of me that knows.
Remembering Spirit as the sacred, powerful presence that is everywhere, the source of all creation. It is the infinite flow of goodness, the light that always shines, love and compassion without limit. It is ever present at the center of all beings, as a loving guide and constant companion. And this is where we make our home, for it is the truth of our being now and forever. I know that today's message and music inspires us, bringing greater awareness of the truth. It lifts the heart of our center family, those gathered here and our viewers online. For as we share this truth out into our life and our world, it is magnified to create a great healing for us, our earth, and all people everywhere. Spirit enfolds all in unity and oneness, so that everyone knows peace and harmony. Our children and young people grow strong and vibrant, and Spirit lights the path before us with wisdom and joy, making each moment fresh and new. And for these gifts and this truth, I am so deeply thankful. And I release this word and so it is. Good morning. I'm Reverend Sciotta, your spiritual support minister, and won't you join me in speaking today's affirmation? I have the courage to be vulnerable and let my light shine. Thank you.
Who lets the bucket down? It brings up a flowing prophet. Oh, like Moses goes for fire and finds what burns inside the sunrise. I hear someone say, who? Could be you. Yes, you could be who lets the bucket down. Now Solomon cuts open a fish, and there's a gold ring. And Omar storms in to kill the prophet, and he leaves with blessings. Ooh. And an oyster swallows one drop. Now there's a pearl, and Jesus slips into a house to escape enemies. But he opens the door to another world, and still they say, who? Could be you. Yes, you could be who opens that door. But don't be satisfied with poems and stories of how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth so that people will understand. We have opened you. Have opened you. So let your bucket down. And open up your door. Feel the wings you've grown, and leave with blessings.
Good morning. Can we give some more love to Chris and the band? Could be you letting the bucket down this morning. Oh, well, congratulations. You changed your clock and you made it through the storm. I had the great honor, the pleasure decades ago of being able to go see a performance by the great mime artist Marcel Marceau. And after all these years, there's one piece that he did that stays vibrant in my memory. He mimed a man walking into a shop and walking up to a counter and pointing one after another to these different masks. As the shop owner would give him the mask and he'd slide it over his face. And each time, Marcel Marceau, in his brilliance and that classical ability to express through his face alone, he would change from anger to sorrow, to curiosity. And he went on and on and on to all these expressions so vividly expressed through his face until he put on his last mask. And as he slid it over his face, he grinned the biggest grin. You could feel the happiness, the joy emanating from that expression. And he looked around at the audience for a while, and then he went to remove that mask, and he couldn't get it off. And you saw him physically struggling to get that mask off, and his grin stayed big and joyful. But in his eyes, you could see frustration turning to a distress, turning to panic. This morning, we're talking about dropping masks and lowering that, not the bucket that Chris was singing of, that bucket that drops us deep in our being, but that bushel bucket that they refer to in the Bible that seemingly can cover our light. I remember talking to Edward years ago and saying, I just feel like there's a wall between me and this person. And he said, Ruth, there is no wall. So I want to say to you this morning, there is no bucket. We are light. So what is the problem? How come we're not experiencing that? How come we're not seeing that in ourselves and each other? I remember when I first became a practitioner, people would come to me, and back in those days in our movement, used to hear the words all the time from the stages. You are whole, perfect, and complete. People would roll it off their tongue. You are whole, perfect, and complete. And clients would come to me, and they'd say how it made their heart feel happy. And many of them said, I really believe this. But, and then they'd go on to tell me how they're not whole, perfect, and complete, and sort of give it to me to fix them so they could be whole, perfect, and complete. I remember years ago, I've told you this story, when Edward first came to the center, and I was just finishing Prac 1. And in between Prac 1 and Prac 2, we did a circle in the summertime. And many of us in our class would gather, and there were 40 in my class. That's crazy. And so we'd be a big circle of people, and we would just talk about our studies and share where we were and the work we were doing. And so I invited Edward, our brand new senior minister, to come and sit at one of our circles. Now, I don't remember the conversation that was going on, but I remember at one point raising my hand and to ask a question, and Edward was sitting across this large circle from me. We had just met. We had known each other a little bit. I was running the practitioner corps, and so we had had some interactions. And I said to him, what do you do when you really believe this teaching, when you know these principles, when you actually may have even experienced that sense of wholeness and oneness, but you don't feel it? And he said, pointedly to me, Ruth, nobody cares about your story. Now, I noticed when he said this, I noticed people in the group wiping tears from their eyes. It felt rude, like kind of a slap in the face. But for me, it was exactly what I needed to hear. And for that moment, I was set free. Because for the first time ever, I got that distinction between what I feel and the stories I have in my head about who I think I am. and really the truth of what this teaching is about. That we're whole, perfect, and complete. That light never comes and goes, that it is always right here, that the love and the joy and the peace that we talk about beyond human understanding doesn't waver. So what happens? Well, it seems by some fluke of human design, God-given, you might say, we waver. Our attention wavers. Does anybody notice they have a chattering mind? Or that they carry some stories about themselves or maybe other people? And so this teaching is reminding us to drop that bucket down into the depth of our being and know what the great teachers and masters have taught. There's that line, I think, from Marianne Williamson when she said, we have everything all the great teachers and masters have, all the love and the joy and the peace. They just don't have anything else. Now, I don't know that they don't have anything else, but what I think is true is that they don't listen to those stories. I listen to my stories sometimes. Do you ever listen to your story? Do you ever believe it? We have stories, and the challenge is they're very habituated. We get born into stories about ourselves. Ernest Holmes, our founder in this teaching, said, we're born with flaws and foibles that we don't even understand. We seem to come wired with them. And so we're not going to be punished for having these foils and flaws in our being. What he was describing is that no matter how seemingly human we are, and we are oh so human, aren't we? That we're more than that at the same time. That there is always a still point in being if we but stop and notice the awareness that we are, the consciousness, the wholeness that we are. If we step back. I have a new teacher that talks a lot about consciousness being a screen. And so I noticed the other day when I was watching a drama on TV, I don't know why I still do this, because it was making me crazy. You ever watch things that make you crazy? And I'm so engaged in the story, I want to change what these characters are doing because clearly they're not thinking straight, you know? It's like, I don't want that to happen, and they shouldn't be doing that. You ever go there? Maybe not watching TV. Maybe you do it in your life. They shouldn't do that anymore. And I noticed I was very caught and charged in. It was uncomfortable. And so what I did was drop my awareness back so that I could see the whole room. I no longer was just in that story. And I could see myself sitting in the chair. I could see my legs, and I saw that my TV set, and I saw the whole room, and I still was engaged in the movie. But when I had that bigger perspective, I wasn't agonizing about who was doing what. You with me? We might call that spiritual practice. That's why we come together. That's what our classes are about, to support us in that dropping back that higher perspective. That not believing that story. It's not that we don't care about each other. It's not that we shouldn't care about the stuff that is going on in our lives or is going on around us. But we want to remember what's always there underneath it, that we are more, not bound by those stories. And it can feel like we're bound by them. It can feel and we can believe that we really are those stories, even though our conscious mind knows we're not. So just like Marcel Marceau felt that angst with this made-up mask, wasn't even a thing unto itself. We feel that angst for thoughts and beliefs that aren't really a thing unto themselves. Yes? We all know that thoughts and feelings come and go, don't we? We have good days, we have bad days, don't we? Maybe some of you don't have bad days anymore. You know, the slightest thing can upset us. Made up stuff can upset us. In our mind, for some reason, our brain, that wiring, has us catch hold of it and make that more important than the joy. We remember those things because we've rehearsed them so much. So unlike some of the misunderstanding that happens with this teaching, we are not teaching whole, perfect, and complete and not human. That it's okay to have imperfections. We just don't want to wrap ourselves around it and dive in and make that the whole reality of what is. Ernest Holmes says in his writing, even in his early textbook, he says we're born with this stuff, and I'll tell you some of the things he calls it. He says he calls it a density and a debauchery of mind and soul. Oh my God, a drunkenness with which we seem to be born, a stupidity. Do you ever recognize any of those qualities in your thinking? But we're not fixing those. We're diving underneath, he says. We're breaking through that density to touch that ground of being. Not to pretend, not to get away and split off, but so that we are living more and more and more and believing and knowing more and more that we are that ground, so that we can live on behalf of our wholeness instead of our brokenness. I used to live in a house for a short time. Somebody offered me and my partner a house that had been on the market for a long time, and it had been there for so long, no one was looking, no one was interested. This house needed a lot of work. First and foremost, the thing that I noticed is the foundation was gone. You could put a marble at one end of the house and it would roll straight through. There wasn't a door or a window that was straight. And the person that had the house on the market said, we just need somebody to live here and to paint it. And so for free rent, we painted the exterior. Well, we had somebody do that, and then we ourselves painted the interior, and it sold right after that. And I was thinking as I was preparing this talk, I thought, we do that a lot. That's a lot of what our personality is. We feel broken. So what do? We dress it up. We put a good coat of paint on it. I remember Edward, I'm telling on Edward this morning. I remember in ministerial school in our homiletics class, this is the class where we work with giving speeches. My worst nightmare. And he said, whatever you say when you're on the stage, make sure you look good, because that's what they're going to remember. Oh dear. And we do that. In fact, the word personality comes from the Greek word persona, which means mask. Our personality really is just that covering over that essential self that we participate through in our lives. Now, there's nothing wrong with personalities. Well, there are things we can shift and change. But from whence are we shifting and changing? Where are we getting that direction and what might need to change? The great Christian mystic Howard Thurman talked about the sound of the genuine that lives in all of us. The sound of the genuine, that is truly the only guide we have for our lives. So that when we come back to that essence, that authentic being, it guides us. And it's what does the shifting in our thinking, and it's what does the shifting in what we speak and how we behave. Sometimes it's immediate, and sometimes it's over time. Ernest Holmes talks about, well, at least move in the direction of. So we want to notice, if I'm praying to know love and wholeness, at least align my thoughts with that. More useful. Not just pretending, not just putting a coat of paint, but really uncovering what's really there. What we want to do is disempower those habituated thoughts. We want to take the power out of them by empowering what's always here, which is your consciousness, which is the wholeness of being. So if you're wanting to know that you're not broken, let me tell you, you're not. Or that you're okay, you are. Or that you belong, you do. And one of the things I'm hearing from congregants, it's sort of in the world right now, it's a big thing. It's a big thing in our culture. We want to know we're unique. You are. So put that to rest. Where we get in trouble with personality is where we hold on to and we fight and we struggle. Trying to pretend we're not something or trying hard to get to something. You do not have to fight in effort to become authentic, to become your essential self. It's already here. We're just dropping the bucket down. We're listening. We're turning within to find something that's present underneath the story mind. So it's okay to be who you are because the infinite intelligence has created you. It's okay to be where you are in your life because the infinite intelligence that is unfolding the universe put you here. That doesn't mean we don't want to change things. It doesn't mean that we don't have challenges. It just supports us in unfolding and listening and moving forward in time from a greater ground of being. It's useful to have a good foundation because it affects everything. One of the things I hear from people is this fear that if we just hang out in our God self, you might call it, our true self, into that essence, that it becomes boring. Which is kind of a strange idea to me, but I can understand. We don't want to be flat in our existence. I promise you, God's not flat. Being in the infinite presence is not flat. Letting go of the story does not make life dull. It takes the darkness off. We effort so hard to be okay, to be accepted. We protect and defend. I remember reading Carlos Castaneda saying, if we could stop protecting and defending ourselves, oh, the energy we would have left over. It's so habituated we don't even notice. One of the clues is our judging mind. When we're in our judging mind, we're protecting and defending a story. And so the invitation to drop our mask and drop the bushel and then lower the bucket down into the essence of being, that's our call. And I love that the book we're using is The Gift of Imperfection by Brené Brown. That we recognize that our imperfections, what we call our imperfections, are part of the dance of our lives. For those of you who heard Reverend Cynthia James last week, she talked about our struggles, our challenges being portals to our transformation. And her talk was so beautiful. And, she's a very accomplished woman, and her singing voice is just so awesome. And she writes this truth and speaks it so eloquently. And I was listening to her and thinking, perfect, because I'm going to come back and bring forth the foundation, because that's really what I'm about. And it's not something I made up. Like I said, my worst nightmare when I came into ministry was never to speak. My first class with Reverend Edward, I went to his office afterwards. I started crying, and I said, I'm done. I'm quitting school. He laughed at me because I didn't go into ministry to be a speaker. I went into ministry to teach, practice, and do my pastoral work, which I do. This just caught me up. It found me. I wouldn't choose to do this. In fact, I was telling a friend of mine, because I don't write a talk, that I woke up this morning and a whole new thread showed up, and I'm like, egads, like I need this. But I trust that does life. It's the ground that I stand on. I invite you to consider trusting that does life, because it does your life. It informs you. It's where you are. It cannot be. You are only here because the infinite presence, intelligence is right where you are. The infinite God, the divine, does not give you your good. It gives you life. It gives you everything. It's in, through, and around us. We just get distracted in our stories and we think we're this. Usually it's the challenge and the struggle that gets our attention. And so for me, I think of challenges and struggles, pains and anguish as a call inward, not as a call to push against and accomplish and break through, but a call inward. What am I needing to know? What am I forgetting here? That's my call. It's my experience. It's speaking to me. It's calling me to drop the bucket down to the center of my being and remember who I am, so I can hear that sound of the genuine as it guides me in that's mine to know and to do. I remember several years ago, I had a woman show up on my couch. Her friends told me she was coming. They sent her. They said, you have to go see Ruth because we can't stand to be around you. That's really what they said. This woman was an independent, competent woman, strong woman. She sat down on my couch and she went on and on and on and on and on in her anxiousness and her anxiety and her fretting about conditions in her life. I mean, I'm good at interrupting, and I could not get this woman to stop telling this story. After an hour, she finally stopped. Just for a moment, she stopped talking and stopped running that story. And you could feel the space open up around her. And I said, what are you experiencing? And she said, peace. In a few moments, she started going on and on again about how was she going to maintain this. She didn't understand how she could keep this peace. And I stopped her right there and I said, what happened? Where'd you go? She said, I just don't know how to be with this much peace. If there is a practice in spiritual work, it's in that. Getting comfortable with that unspeakable nature of being. Peace, love, joy, and making it real, not as a human feeling and emotion, but as the very nature that's right here holding us always. I'm not speaking abstract. I'm not interested in abstract theory and ideas. Try it. Notice the story and stop and see what's there. Years ago, I had a blessing from a telemarketer. Some of you have heard me tell this story. I had just started ministerial school, and I got my first computer because I had to have a computer for ministerial school. Not that I wanted one. And I remember getting through this paper. I'm cooking dinner, and I'm finished typing up this paper, and I did something. It disappeared. I have no idea where it went. I don't even know if I ever got it back, but it disappeared. And I could hear the pot on my stove boiling, so I got up and I rushed over and I turned the stove off, and the phone rang, and for some reason, I answered the phone. And I heard that voice of a telemarketer. You know that sound. Hello, Miss Barnhart. How are you doing? And so I decided to tell this man how I was doing. In detail. And he just listened to me. And then he said, "How else are you doing?" And I just started laughing. I said, "Thank you so much for calling me." So you might ask yourself, when you're stuck in a story about yourself or conditions or your life or the world around you, what else is here? What else am I experiencing? Yes, we have a lot of thoughts and feelings. Some of them are actually pointing to something that might actually be happening. It's not that we don't have to deal with stuff and meet stuff. It's not that we don't have feelings. We have lots of feelings. We're just practicing not allowing them to pull us downstream. That's why we come here. To remember the truth of who we are and then to allow it to move us through our lives right now, not from the story. You know, I've carried stories. I have stories. You have stories? I have stories about my mom. Do you have mom stories, dad stories? I don't know about you, but for me, they're all ancient. I don't need to tell that story. What's here? Because who and what you are is made by and from and of that stuff that makes all life. I love Neil deGrasse Tyson, the great physicist who's out in the world speaking quantum physics, says, you are special, not because you're made out of something different than the dirt and the planets and the stuff of life, but because you're made of exactly the same stuff in the same proportion. We are so connected to the universe, we just don't see it. Our human mind's always going to see separation. And you're not separate. We're not separate. We're not alone. And we're not broken. So let's take this time to drop that bucket again. As I invite you to turn your attention inward. Feel that breath breathing through you, brand new right now. You might feel that energy of life vibrating in your body, holding you in your chair. You might feel that air around you, wrapping itself around you as it breathes in and out of your body. And I know this as the very presence divine right here. It is the life of all life, the animating power that does all things. It is everywhere in everything. God, Spirit, the divine, the Tao, the source of being, that ground of all being right here. It is our essential self. It is the stuff of which everything, everyone is made. No one left out, nothing outside of this one. And so I simply come home in conscious awareness right now, recognizing it as the life of my life. The knower, the beer, the doer of all that I am. And I know it as the truth of each and every one here, each and every one hearing this prayer. We are made of and by this one. We are put here today by that one. Everything that is unfolded has brought us here. It is making us who we are in this human nature, and it is holding and abiding in that stillness of being always. A peace beyond human understanding. And so I know and accept this right now as a greater surrendering, relaxing into. We are relaxing into the embrace of the one that is always holding, supporting, sustaining. No separation from that one presence and that which we are. And it is this that guides us, directs us, opens up before us. And it meets us everywhere we are, in every thought, every feeling, every encounter, every situation. Oh, I am so grateful to know this truth. And in this sweet awareness, I recognize this call of the call divine. It is that sound of the genuine right here. And I listen, I open, I let go into that one. And I let this be. And so it is. Amen. I don't have my glasses. Good morning. So here we go. This is our time of offering. And what I want to say to you, because I'm here and I'm not the senior minister, we're here not because of Edward, not because of the staff, the board. We're here because we are the center. We are. We are what makes the center. We are what supports the center, sustains it with our finances, with our love, our prayers, and our offering of service. And so in this time, we get to share out of our goodness, whatever that looks like for us, wherever we are in our lives. And we have provided multi-ways for us to give. We can mail a check in. I'm still a check writer. We can give online at our website, cslsr.org. We can text to give at, there it is, 675-2399. I think the number says on my paper. And if it's the first time, it will lead you through simple directions on how to do it. We can auto give, and you can sign up out at the information table with Linda Hahn. Or you can drop your gift in our baskets our ushers are going to pass. So I invite you right now to put your attention, maybe your hand on your heart, and repeat after me. I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does good work in the world and blesses creation. And so it is. Ushers, please receive our gifts.
Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, I am free. So many gifts upon my table, loving kindnesses to me. Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, for the way, for this rich, abundant living every single day. And I give thanks for the knowing. I give thanks for the way your love is overflowing every time I pray. And I thank you, God, for one good day. Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, I am free. So many gifts upon my table, loving kindnesses to me. Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, for the way, for this rich, abundant living every single day. And I give thanks for the knowing. I give thanks for the way your love is overflowing every time I pray. And I thank you, God. Oh, I thank you, God, for one good day.
We love our band. Yes, we do. So you might have noticed there's a table out in the social hall. Our wonderful AIDS Life Cycle team is back with another delicious bake sale between our 9 a.m. service and our 11 a.m. service. Stop by, show your support for the amazing work they are doing, raising funds and awareness for HIV and AIDS research and treatment. This is the 8th year of Team CSLSR participating in the AIDS Life Cycle Ride. It's 545 miles from San Francisco to LA in support of AIDS HIV awareness. Not bad, yeah. Do you find yourself in the middle of the week missing the joyful community that you get here on a Sunday? If this sounds like you, don't worry, because you can come on Wednesday. We have Reverend Russ this week at our Wednesday evening service at 7 p.m. for your midweek spiritual pick-me-up. We are going to be picking the daily teaching out of Science of Mind and unpacking it in simple English together. We will have tea and goodies and fresh bread, because Reverend Russ knows how to make fresh bread. An absolutely wonderful community. Also, I want to say again about the annual membership meeting. It is fast approaching, and they need a quorum. It will be Sunday, March 26th at 1 p.m. on Zoom, and it is imperative that you sign up because they need to know that they have a certain number for the quorum. You can get more info and register on the website by clicking the photo of the vineyard. If you're in person here today, you can sign up at the info desk on your way out. Other announcements include our Being and Belonging group meets today at 1:30 on Zoom, and they discuss diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how the interconnecting power of love deepens our experience of the incredible journey of the divine together. You can join in the conversation by clicking the photo of the rainbow-colored sand on our website. And every Sunday evening, you are welcome to join our Sunday evening conversations, where our practitioners in our community share conversations and experiences tied to our Sunday talk. This is a wonderful way to go a little deeper into the teachings that we share each Sunday. And you can join by clicking the photo of the bird in a sunset on our website. If you found yourself crying yourself to sleep last night, or you have something deep in your heart that's really affecting you and you would like some prayer to lift that up, to make it a little lighter, we have several choices for you. We have after-service prayer right here in this room, and you check in at the host desk in the back, and there's practitioners here to pray with you. Also, if you're online, you can go to the website and click the link for a Zoom prayer. Whichever you do, it's good for the soul, the practitioner, and you. We want to thank you for being with us today. Have a wonderful week.
I can read. I'm just changing course here. So, we usually stand. Do you guys want to stand? Why don't you stand for our benediction? And repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. And life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is. Thank you, life. So I just invite you to turn within to know that that presence is here right now. We don't need to wait to turn. It is here right now, always. And it is that is our constant companion, breathing our breath, beating our heart. It is the divine in, through, and around us. And so I know it as the very presence right where we are right now. And I know it is that goes with us every step as we go forth into this day, into this week. And it is that guides and directs us. And so we only need listen. It is that divine call within, that internal nudge that directs us. And so I know that we are truly held, supported, sustained by this presence, that we are each an integral part, a gift to this world as it gives us in return. And in this sweet awareness, I simply give thanks and I let this be, and so it is. Amen. Please enjoy our closing song and have a wonderful week.
I release, I let go, I let the Spirit